Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the Supreme Court's recent decision on Trump's immunity. Why is this a big deal? Imagine a legal game of whack-a-mole, except the moles are constitutional crises and the hammers are made of gavels. We've got 4 key takeaways for you that'll hopefully make sense of it all. Let's get started. So, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Trump, granting him immunity in the case of charges related to his involvement on January 6, 2021, and his conduct to interfere with overturning the election. This decision has sparked a lot of debate and controversy across the nation. Now, before you all flood the comments section with variations of shock, let's delve into the specifics. It's important to understand the nuances of this ruling and what it means for the future. Essentially, the court found that the legal shield protecting presidents from lawsuits while in office extends even to actions taken before they stepped into the Oval Office. This interpretation of presidential immunity is quite broad and unprecedented. Yes, you heard that right. It's like saying the statute of limitations on eating all the snacks in the pantry starts the moment you become president, not when you actually devoured those delicious cheese puffs. This analogy might sound humorous, but it underscores the gravity of the court's decision. This ruling is a win for Trump for several reasons. It not only absolves him of potential legal consequences in this case, but also reinforces his position of power. First, it shields him from legal jeopardy in this specific case, which, let's be honest, is probably something he's quite used to at this point. Trump's legal battles have been numerous and well documented. Second, it sets a precedent for expansive presidential immunity that could have implications for future presidents. This could potentially change the landscape of presidential accountability. Imagine a world where every presidential candidate campaigned on a platform of "vote for me" and then admit to eating the last cookie in the jar without consequence. This might sound far-fetched, but it highlights the potential for abuse of power. One can only imagine Trump's reaction to this news. He has always been a master of turning legal victories into political capital. It probably involved a celebratory Diet Coke, a flurry of triumphant tweets, and perhaps even a victory lap on his favorite golf course, complete with a Make America Immune Again hat. This ruling is likely to embolden him and his supporters even further. Now, let's dive into how this ruling might impact the upcoming 2024 election, a pivotal moment in American politics. Just when you thought the political landscape couldn't get any weirder, the Supreme Court throws this curveball into the mix, shaking things up in ways we couldn't have anticipated. It's like watching a game of political Jenga where the tower is already teetering precariously, and someone just pulled out a block from the bottom, making the stakes even higher. This decision could embolden Trump, potentially making him feel even more invincible than he already does. His supporters might see this as a sign of his resilience and strength. Imagine campaign ads proclaiming, "He beat the impeachment. He beat the investigations. And now, he's beat the Supreme Court." Such messaging could galvanize his base like never before. Of course, the impact on the 2024 election will depend on a multitude of factors, not least of which the impact of this week's Trump-Biden debate has had. One thing's for sure. This ruling adds another layer of complexity to an already chaotic and unpredictable political landscape. The ripple effects could be felt across both major parties. It's enough to make you want to reach for the popcorn and a stiff drink, or maybe just a stress ball shaped like a gavel. As we watch this drama unfold, the tension is palpable, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Voters will have to navigate this intricate web of political maneuvers, making informed decisions in an environment that seems to change by the minute. The 2024 election promises to be one for the history books. Beyond the immediate political implications, this Supreme Court decision also sets some significant legal precedents. Essentially, the court expanded the scope of presidential immunity, which, as you might imagine, has legal scholars across the country either excitedly scribbling notes or banging their heads against their law books. The court's reasoning was based on the idea that presidents shouldn't be bogged down by lawsuits while in office, even if those lawsuits stem from actions taken before their presidency. It's like saying you can't sue a chef for overcooking the fish if they overcooked it before they got the job, even if you're still picking fish bones out of your teeth. Now, I'm not a legal scholar, but even I can tell you that this ruling raises some thorny legal questions. How far does this immunity extend? What actions are covered? And how does this impact the balance of power between the branches of government? These are questions that legal experts will be debating for years to come, likely in legal journals filled with enough jargon to make your head spin. Speaking of the future, let's delve into the long-term ramifications of this Supreme Court ruling. This decision is not just a momentary blip, it has the potential to reshape the landscape of American governance for years to come. By expanding presidential immunity, the court has potentially tipped the scales of power a bit more towards the executive branch. This shift could lead to a significant rebalancing of how power is distributed among the branches of government. Now, before you start building your bunker and stocking up on canned goods, let's not overreact. While this ruling is indeed significant, it's important to remember that the American political system is robust and has weathered many storms. The U.S. system of government is designed with checks and balances for a reason. These mechanisms are in place to prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful, ensuring a balance that has been maintained for over 2 centuries. However, this ruling could have a chilling effect on future lawsuits against presidents, potentially making it more difficult to hold them accountable for their actions. This could lead to a scenario where presidents feel emboldened to act without fear of legal repercussions. It's like Canada's catch and release laws, which enables repeat offenders to return to the community instead of staying in jail. They might be less inclined to play by the rules if they know they can't get in trouble. This could lead to a more reckless exercise of presidential power. Ultimately, the long-term impact of this ruling will depend on how future courts interpret and apply it. The judiciary's role in shaping the application of this precedent cannot be overstated. It's a legal precedent that could reverberate for decades to come, shaping the future of presidential power and accountability. The ripple effects of this decision could influence not just the current administration, but many administrations to follow. Or, knowing the unpredictable nature of the legal system, it could be completely overturned by another Supreme Court decision in a few years. The legal landscape is ever-changing, and what seems like a definitive ruling today could be challenged and changed tomorrow. It's like trying to predict the weather in a hurricane. You know it's going to be wild, but good luck pinning down the specifics. The future of presidential power is uncertain, and only time will tell how this ruling will ultimately play out in the grand scheme of American politics. And there you have it, folks. 4 major takeaways from the Supreme Court's Trump immunity decision. It's a ruling that has significant legal, political, and historical implications, and it's sure to be a topic of conversation and debate for quite some time. What do you think about the ruling? Do you think it strikes the right balance between presidential power and accountability? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, understanding complex legal decisions like this is crucial for informed civic engagement. Don't just take our word for it. Do your own research, read different perspectives, and form your own opinions. And most importantly, stay engaged in the political process. After all, in a democracy, the power ultimately rests with the people. Unless, of course, you're president, in which case you might just be able to get away with anything. Just kidding. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. See you next time.